Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. In 2012, a 15-year-old girl from Melbourne walked into an audition in Sydney, unaware that her life was about to change forever. Her name was Rosé Park, born in Auckland, New Zealand on February 11, 1997. The world would come to know her as Rose. This is the story of her evolution, from a trainee fighting to survive, to a global icon redefining what it means to be a K-pop artist in the modern era. When Rose was 7 years old, her family moved from Auckland to Melbourne, Australia. This is where she grew up, attending Kew East Primary School and Canterbury Girls Secondary College. From a young age, music became her escape. She learned to sing, play guitar, and piano, often performing in church choir. She never imagined this hobby would take her across the world. In 2012, her father suggested she audition for YG Entertainment, which was holding global auditions in Sydney. Rose initially thought it was a joke. The distance, the difficulty of becoming a singer abroad, everything seemed impossible. But she decided to try. Among 700 contestants, Rose ranked first. Within 2 months, she dropped out of school, signed a contract as a trainee, and moved to Seoul, South Korea, a country she barely knew, with a language she was still learning. That same year, she got her first opportunity in the music industry when she was featured on G-Dragon's song, Without You, from his EP One of a Kind. However, her identity remained a mystery, credited only as from YG New Girl Group. Her voice was heard, but her face remained unseen. The reality of being a K-pop trainee hit hard. Rose found herself in an environment far more demanding than she could have imagined. From morning until 2 a.m., 6 days a week, vocal training, dance practice, Korean language lessons, performance evaluations. There was no room for error, no time to slack off. The isolation was crushing. Far from home, struggling to catch up with trainees who had been there for years, every day felt like a survival test. Rose would later say she was fighting for her life, training for her life. She couldn't accept the fact that she would just be cut and sent back. She had told her friends she was dropping out of school, and she didn't want to fly back to Australia without having achieved anything. But she found an ally in Lisa, another trainee from Thailand who understood exactly what she was going through. Just understanding what we were both going through was enough to be like, I'm not in this alone, Rose recalled. That friendship became a lifeline during the hardest times. What made this journey even more challenging was the uncertainty. The girl group originally planned to debut in 2012 with 7 or more members faced delays, cancellations, and complete restructuring. Year after year passed with no debut in sight. For years, that's how long Rose trained, uncertain, exhausted, but refusing to give up. She took every minute, every second, to work on her craft. In June 2016, YG Entertainment finally began revealing the members of their new girl group. Jennie first on June 1st, then Lisa on June 8th, Jisoo on June 15th. On June 22nd, the final member was revealed, Rose, the main vocalist and lead dancer. The 4-member lineup was complete. They would be called Blackpink. On August 8, 2016, Blackpink debuted with their single album, Square One, featuring Boombaya and Whistle. The response was unprecedented. Both songs topped major charts. Whistle hit #1 on South Korea's Circle Digital chart, while Boombaya topped Billboard's World Digital Songs chart. Within a month of debut, Blackpink was already a force to be reckoned with in K-pop. And at the center of their sound was Rose's distinctive, husky voice, instantly recognizable, impossible to ignore. Rose quickly built her reputation as the golden voice. In 2017, a mysterious contestant named Circus Girl appeared on King of Masked Singer. When the mask came off, viewers were captivated. It was Rose. Her appearance on Fantastic Duo 2 was particularly meaningful. She performed alongside Gummy, a veteran K-pop star who had been one of her role models during training. "When I was a trainee, I used to see Gummy sometimes in the hallway, but all I could do was just shyly greet her. To actually sing with her was surreal," Rose said. Music journalist Kim Yoon-ha praised her memorable, husky tone that effectively conveys emotion, a voice that transforms even simple lyrics into something profound. Vogue described her as having an electric soprano. In a genre often focused on perfection, Rosé's voice stood out for its raw, authentic quality. Blackpink's rise from debut to global phenomenon was meteoric. By 2018, they signed with Interscope Records for worldwide distribution. In 2019, they made history as the first K-pop girl group to perform at Coachella. Their set became legendary. In 2020, their collaboration, Sour Candy, with Lady Gaga debuted at number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100, their first top 40 hit in the United States and the highest charting song by a Korean girl group at that time. Their album, The Album, became the best-selling album by any female Korean act in history. Blackpink had transcended K-pop. They were now global superstars. And through it all, Rose was establishing herself not just as a vocalist, but as a fashion icon. She became the first global ambassador for Yves Saint Laurent in 59 years, and a face for Tiffany & Company. Her influence in fashion was immense. When she posted photos wearing brands like Yves Saint Laurent or Tiffany & Company, it brought millions of dollars in attention to the companies. She was considered one of the most powerful celebrity endorsers in the world. After 4.5 years with Blackpink, fans were finally getting what they'd been waiting for, Rosé's solo debut. On March 12, 2021, she released her debut single album, R, featuring On the Ground and Gone. The response shattered expectations. The music video for On the Ground garnered 41.6 million views in 24 hours, breaking an almost 8-year record held by PSY's Gentleman for most viewed music video by a Korean soloist. On the Ground made her the first artist ever to top the Billboard Global 200 both as a soloist and as part of a group. She became the first Korean female soloist to enter the UK singles chart, posting the highest debut by a solo idol in UK history. The album sold 448,089 copies in its first week, the highest first-week sales by a Korean female soloist at that time. The song also debuted at number 70 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it the highest charting song by a female K-pop soloist in the United States at the time. After years of wondering if she was good enough, if her voice would resonate, Rose had her answer. The world was listening, and they loved what they heard. These achievements earned Rose 2 Guinness World Records, for achieving the most viewed YouTube music video in 24 hours by a solo K-pop artist, as well as becoming the first artist to reach number 1 on the Billboard Global Chart as both a soloist and as part of a group. In December 2023, Rose made a pivotal decision. While remaining with YG Entertainment for Blackpink activities, she signed with the Black label for her solo work, and in September 2024, she announced she had signed a solo deal with Atlantic Records. For the first time, she would have true creative control. This wasn't just about releasing music, it was about finding her authentic voice. Her debut full-length solo album would be called Rosé, the name her friends and family call her. Not Rose the K-pop idol, but Rosé the person. She described it as a little journal of her experiences. "I've been waiting to release this album for my whole life," she shared. "But I never really thought it would be realistic." In summer 2024, while preparing her solo album, Rose attended a Bruno Mars concert in Los Angeles. She was starstruck. What she didn't know was that fate had more in store. Through Atlantic Records, she met Mars at his studio. What was supposed to be a brief meeting turned into something extraordinary. "One night in the studio, I taught my crew how to play this Korean drinking game called Apartment. Everyone was fascinated when I started the chant. We played around with it and I said, we should make a song out of it. And after Bruno joined the track, the rest became history," Rose recalled. Released on October 18, 2024, APT became an instant cultural phenomenon. The song topped charts in 51 countries and became the fastest K-pop solo music video to reach 300 million views. It achieved over 200 perfect all kills on South Korean charts. In the UK, Rosé became the highest-charting female K-pop solo artist in history, debuting at number 4 before climbing to number 2. The song debuted at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, making Rosé the first woman in K-pop to enter the Hot 100 Top 10. APT spent 12 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Global 200, becoming the longest-running number 1 song of 2024. In Australia, the song became the first by a female K-pop soloist to reach number 1 on the ARIA Singles Chart. Critics called it a luminous banger, a pop-punk delight, and Forbes recognized it as the most acclaimed K-pop song of 2024. Even the original 1982 song, Apartment, by Yoon Soo-il saw a 190% streaming increase, introducing a new generation to classic Korean music. On December 6, 2024, Rosé was finally released, 12 tracks of raw emotion, vulnerability, and artistic authenticity. The album made Rosé the highest-charting Korean female soloist in both the United States and United Kingdom. The album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 with 102,000 album equivalent units in its first week, achieving the highest chart position for any debut studio album by a Korean female soloist. In South Korea, Rosé became the first solo K-pop album to be certified double platinum by the Korea Music Content Association after surpassing 500,000 units sold. The album also reached number 2 on the Australian charts and number 4 on the UK Albums Chart, making Rosé the first female K-pop soloist to earn a top 5 album in the UK. This achievement earned another Guinness World Record as the highest-charting female K-pop artist on the Billboard 200 chart. Unlike anything she'd done before, Rosé wasn't about perfection. It was about honesty, about dating, heartbreak, self-discovery, and navigating your 20s in the public eye. I'm still, at the end of the day, just a 27-year-old girl trying to survive her 20s. I'm trying to figure myself out. With this album, I hope you all feel that much closer to me, Rosé said. Rosé's influence extends far beyond music. In 2025, she was named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people, recognition of her impact not just in entertainment, but in culture itself. She has become a global icon representing the successful crossover of K-pop into Western mainstream music. Rolling Stone AU/NZ named Rosé as one of the 50 living icons from Australia and Aotearoa who have smashed boundaries and opened doors for others. In November 2023, Rosé and the other Blackpink members were invited to Buckingham Palace to be named honorary members of the Order of the British Empire. Rosé was the only one of the group for whom the honorary qualifier did not apply because she was born in New Zealand, one of the British Commonwealth countries where King Charles III is the official head of state. In 2024, she signed with WME for worldwide representation for future releases and solo global touring. The next chapter is just beginning. From a 15-year-old auditioning in Sydney to a global icon at 27, Rosé's journey is far from over. She continues to balance her role in Blackpink, one of the biggest girl groups of all time, while carving out her own path as a solo artist. The evolution of Rosé is a story of determination over doubt, authenticity over perfection, and vulnerability as strength. She fought for her life in those training rooms, survived the pressure to be perfect, found her voice in a foreign country, and used it to inspire millions. From trainee to global icon, Rosé has proven that the most powerful thing you can do is be unapologetically yourself. Her voice, that distinctive, golden, electric voice, continues to resonate around the world. And this? This is just the beginning. Thanks for watching the evolution of Rosé. From trainee to global icon, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments, what's your favorite Rosé moment? Annyeong.